Welcome to the Legacy of Luxury. Nick Constantino here, Jaron Solomon. Jaron, how are you?
We're back, baby.
We're back. We're back. And we have a special guest, Miss Grace Mendez from Tiny Lou's and Hotel Claremont, who decides what it is and how you can find more luxury for yourself without paying the outlandish prices usually attached to it. So with that being said, the Michelin Guide, probably one of the most misunderstood, because no one knows that it actually started as tires,
Yes.
or what the different level of stars mean, which we'll go into.
I love the little Michelin man.
That's it. That's it. It's not the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man. That it's not
doesn't
that.
come and give the
It's
score?
not the Pillsbury Doughboy.
He should.
Wow.
But
Yeah, cute mascot.
so you know, just in its purest form, the Michelin Guide was meant to say, if you are in your car, how far should you drive for the experience of this restaurant? So it's been all over the world, a lot of the biggest cities, your Paris, your New Yorks, but it has slowly started to expand to cities like Atlanta. So before we go into the whole story of how it picks restaurants and that, we have actually with us Grace, who is a Michelin recommended hotel and restaurant.
Yep.
So first of all, golf clap.
Thank you.
Golf clap.
Thank
That
you.
is not an easy accomplishment.
Yeah.
But talk a little bit about Oliver Hospitality. Talk about the restaurant. Talk about the hotel, because I think context is really important. Then we're going to talk about what you guys did to get those Michelin recommendations.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I feel like I could talk about the company for a while. I've been with the company for 8 years, so I've seen a lot of different iterations of it, but I've been at Claremont the whole time. And Claremont itself, it's a historic building. The company, we try and focus on restoring historic buildings.
Yep.
That's really important. Coming from both of our owners being big into real estate is
Yep.
getting those historic buildings and really breathing new life into them, but not changing their identity. And that was something that was really important with Hotel Claremont, is keeping the identity of it and keeping it as historically accurate as possible. It's on the National Registry. And then making sure the neighborhood feels good about it.
Yeah.
So when we opened the hotel in 2018, there was so much input from the Historic Society, from the Ponce Highland Neighborhood Association, from everybody in the city to make sure that we did it justice and we did it right.
And I have to imagine, though, like that was when none of this infrastructure was built. Pond City Market had just opened.
Yep.
But the rest of that strip was unrecognizable to what it is today.
Ponds 10 years ago was not
So all the
what it
work
is
you
now.
did, as important as it was, people were envisioning it to be what they thought it was 10 years ago, not what it's turned into.
Yeah.
So you were really doing a solid for the community and getting input when most of those other people probably were not as much.
Yep. Yeah, everything's an
Owner's probably
evolution.
turning a nice little profit getting in early there.
Sure.
Yeah, well, let's say, sure.
We're having a good time. Everything's an evolution. As like, I would say even the hotel, what it was 9 years ago when we opened, isn't what it is today, because we're continuing to take that input. I mean, COVID really like threw everybody for a loop with how they were going to do business, and there was, we've had more transient business than I think we've ever had. When we first opened, it was a lot of leisure. It was a lot of more of like a party hotel. Just a lot of more for fun. And now we have so many corporate accounts with those big offices over there by Ponce. Sage is over there. There's so many big corporate accounts that we have now that we're catering to, and there's more that you do to the hotel and that you do to the space for different types of a traveler.
Yeah.
So we're really catering to every single person, every demographic, coming in for anniversaries, for staycations, for bachelorette weekends, for Monday night business travel when they want to go to the bar, have a burger, and watch the game. Like it's everybody.
And the infrastructure downtown is atrocious.
Yeah.
And when I mean infrastructure, like if you're sitting at Mercedes-Benz Stadium to go to dinner, you're leaving to go to Old Fourth Ward, and it look, I know Brian McGowan, the Centennial Yards, I wish them the best, but that didn't exist. That wasn't even on his radar.
Yeah.
So people are going into these smaller pockets, which has opened up huge opportunities, and there's not a lot of hotels around the area at all.
Yeah,
So
there's not.
So like Jaron said, yes, there was some profit turning in mind here when they picked out such a nice place. So corporate accounts, staycations, all these great things. How does Tiny Lou's fit into this, and when did we start going to the rooftops and the lounge bars? Was that because you saw the clientele of the hotel needed it, or is that because there was just more opportunity that was in the market because we didn't have stuff like that?
Sure. I mean, it was there from the jump. I think when we opened the hotel, the goal of the hotel is that you come to the hotel and you don't have to leave. So when you come into the hotel, you come and you want to have your nice meal. You go down to Tiny Lou's, you get dressed up, you have, foie gras, you have caviar, you have the, like the beautiful bread service that we do, the crepe cake, you have a really nice meal. Then you make your way up a little bit more, you're in the lobby bar. It's very sexy, it's very sultry, it's really dark. I love a dark bar. And it's just beautiful. Like, you have a nice, more casual meal. You can come in there on a Monday if you're traveling for business and have a burger, and it's no problem. You can come in from the neighborhood, have a glass of wine 2 nights a week. It's great. Then you keep going, you go up to the rooftop. Rooftop is backyard barbecue. Like, it is AstroTurf. There's a taco truck that we craned up there. It's so much fun.
That must be cool to see.
Yeah, it was awesome. But the rooftop, it's just so much fun. So, like, the goal is, like, bar crawl the building, never leave the building, do your thing. And then if you want, there's a strip club.
If you have enough in you, then you make your way to the most sultry, to the most sultry of them all. And we'll get to that, because I think it's also one of the most misunderstood parts. And I think it's actually so embedded in the culture and the charm of this city that I don't even think strip club is the word.
It's a dive bar.
It's a dive bar.
It
is a dive bar in its most fun. In its most fun and pure form. Okay, so let's dive a little into Tiny Lou's. So first off, give us the framing of the cuisine, because I ate recently. I had a wonderful meal, but if you're going in expecting classic French, you're going to be mistaken.
Yeah. The cuisine is French American. The goal of Tiny Lou's is to still be familiar and not be only an occasion restaurant where you come in, it's elevated, it's a little bit stuffy. Like, we have to remember we're above a strip club. You know what I'm saying? So, like, it's literally on top of it. So the goal of it is to have, like, a very familiar, very customized, like, beautiful experience, but still not feel like you're out of place. And so it's French American. Like, we have a lot, we're in the middle of, I mean, Freedom Farmers Market's right there. You can get some really beautiful Southern produce. Like, we want to make sure to keep okra on the menu and tomatoes in the summer, and really nice, like, Southern produce, and get good Southern influence. When we first opened, our chef was from the South. Like, he had a lot more of that, like, Southern food on the menu. And as we've had two chefs since we opened, and the chef we have now was last in New Orleans, and so we have some of that on the menu. So
which is, you know, French.
So
you have that influence come back.
Absolutely.
But with that Southern, so New Orleans already had that. Jaron, what are you a French food guy?
I'm an all foods guy.
Okay, tell me a little bit about some of your go-tos.
Especially French American, you know?
Yeah.
Some of your
all
go-tos
of our French listeners out there are pissed off that
I know, apologies.
French American out there.
All the friends up in Montreal, the French Canadian. So, but what are some of your go-tos if you go French food?
Oh man, listen, growing up in this city, it's the food options are endless. But you know what? Honestly, French restaurant in Buckhead, Brookhaven kind of area, not that many.
There's not.
Truthfully.
There are not.
And ones that are especially kind of authentic. I think that you always have those, like, and I joke about this because you guys have some of these on the menu, but they're diversified a little bit. But you have your steak frites, you have your moules, you have your French onion soup, you have some of those that just show up all over. You know, but one of the things that's fascinating about, first of all, France, like most parts of the world, there's so many different parts of France with so many different regions, with so many different kinds of cuisines. To lump it all together is crazy. But they don't hide from what they are. There's butter in everything. You are not eating a French meal without being doused in butter. It is just part of the cuisine. That being said, they're some of the thinnest people on earth. So whatever they're doing, probably because they eat dinner at they eat lunch at like 2 p.m., they take a nap after, and then they eat like a light snack for dinner at 9 p.m.
Good for them.
But I am a big fan. So first off, French onion soup is, I've learned to make it since, but it is one of those things that you have to have a knack for it. The amount of times you stir the onions to get to the caramelization, to build all this stuff around it.
Don't get this guy started. We were sitting in Vegas having a meal together, and a French onion soup came, and he was just in heaven. He's like, this is the French onion soup.
French onion soup people are French onion soup people. They know what they want.
And it is, look, I found out after the fact that I had gout. It is not for gout. It's not for people with gout.
The same for you.
Like bone marrow and butter, all with cheese on top of it. With that being said, there's a lot of technique involved, and that's what I was getting to. So the perception of the French is they use a lot of butter is true, but the amount of technique that goes into the cooking, it is unbelievable. So I had the mussels and fries to start, which is, we hadn't had French food in a while, and it just feel like it's part of a French restaurant. And I dipped my French fries into the whatever juices are at the bottom.
There you go.
And I say, whatever bread is here, don't freaking take it away, leave it all. This is all meant to be absorbed. And then we went, I think we got a beet salad, just because that's not at a French restaurant, but it had a lot of the things that do have and then we went, I got the duck. because you have to.
You have to get the duck.
You have to get the
yes.
duck. And my wife got the gnocchi. And
Nice.
across the board, we just kind of pick and put all the stuff together. It was wonderful. No, it was not over dominant with anything. A lot of savory, not oily at all, but it was everything had a very gentle touch to it, which is not easy to do with that kind of cuisine.
Yeah.
So I very much enjoyed it.
Yeah, glad you had a good time.
Yeah, and it's
All
a
right,
great
so
wine.
can we get to the Michelin rating here? Because I'm on pins and needles here.
I was giving my review. I thought I was able to be the equivalent of the Michelin guy.
You are my Michelin guide.
Thank you. That is the nicest thing you've
I've
ever
heard
said to
this
me.
Michelin thing thrown around for years and years and years, and people talk about it like it's the absolute thing. You have to have it. If this place has a Michelin rating, you must go to it. Is that true? Is that true always? Is that true for Tiny Lou's? How do you get the rating? Can you just talk about like, all right, what are the steps? What do you have to do to get rated? And then is it the real deal always? Or is it just the real deal for Tiny Lou's?
I'm never going to say that. I mean, Michelin is it's really about the experience. I feel like there's a lot of more like luxury ratings out there that are truly for like how elevated are you? How elevated can you make an experience? Like the Forbes guides and those are amazing. But I feel like Michelin, how they do it is graded on so many factors that it really has to be like top to bottom with the experience. And the Michelin keys for hotels is a fairly new thing. And so that was really huge for us getting that for the hotel is getting a Michelin key this year. But I mean, we have a PR team.
Yeah.
It's not all a PR game, but it is nice to have somebody advocating for you and reaching out on your behalf. But I think the biggest thing for the city of Atlanta with Michelin, the biggest thing that was huge is FIFA coming.
Yeah.
So with the World Cup coming a few years ahead of that, ACVB really started reaching out and getting in contact with Michelin and saying, hey, like you can't ignore the city of Atlanta.
Right.
You know, like I'm not saying anybody was, but there's a better food scene here than I think a lot of people even
sure.
know. Atlanta has such a diverse, such a beautiful food scene that it's like, hey, come try it.
Yeah.
Like no one's been here. Maybe they had, but like really spend some
Right, you
time
stop
in
an
Atlanta.
airport, make it a destination.
Yeah.
And a lot of people do come, but
It's
they're
huge.
from Southeast. They're
Yep.
coming in for specific things. They don't venture that far away from the hotel zone, which is a little depressing.
Yeah.
But I think, Jaron, let me take a stab at this, and I want you to tell you what you guys did to get a lot of these
Heard.
things. Because I think so there's a couple of things. There's the Bib Gourmand, there's the recommended, and then there's the 1, 2, and 3 star, and I think there's a green one also. So Bib Gourmand is they have a $1 threshold. I think it's like $30 that it has to be under. You're still Michelin recommended, but it's not like stop everything you're doing in the world and go there. The 1 star is worth making a stop when you're on a road trip. The 2 star is it's worth going 3 hours out of your way because this is all relative to driving. And then the 3 star is get on a plane, fly here, rent a car just to come to this place. I think at its core, that's what the premise of it was.
Interesting.
Because it's all about cars. So when Michelin first did it, it was trying to say how far off your road while you're driving is it worth to go to these restaurants?
Yep.
So that's what the initial Michelin guide was based upon.
Gosh, so Solomon Brothers is a
So-
3-star Michelin.
If we are Michelin jewelry stores, we are 4.5 stars.
Well, okay, well,
Yep.
yeah.
We are 4.5 stars. We'll
Yep.
make our own guide. But so the recommended was a newer one, and pretty much what they were saying is that the Michelin guide, we're not giving it a star because the criteria, what it is, if you look in Atlanta, everything is a prefix menu and it's $250 plates and above. Like you have
Yeah.
all the omakase restaurants, you have bacchanalia. They're very expensive. You can go to Tiny Lou's, grab a burger and a glass of really nice wine for $40 and be out of there.
Yeah.
So it doesn't fit that part of the criteria, but then they have the recommended part.
Yep.
So the question is that did they come in and like really it's a secret shopper first of all.
Yeah,
right?
it's
You
a
never know
secret
who it
shop.
is, you have no idea.
No idea. Yep.
And they come in and it is their experience. The waiters and waitresses, the hostesses, the valet, all of that stuff is part of this. Because if you just based on the dining experience, there are some taco stalls on Buford Highway that should be Michelin rated every time. But there's also more that goes into it. So I think talk a little bit about, from what you know, what were you guys good at that helped garner that recommendation?
I think the biggest part of it is how much the staff cares about the building. Like I've worked many places and I've never seen such low turnover as there is at Claremont. Like you truly start working at Claremont and you don't leave. So we have a lot of people.
At the very least, even if you got to go in that basement for an extra $1 or $2, we're keeping you here. We're keeping you here.
Whatever pays the bills. But there's a lot of people that we just really care about the building. We're very invested in Claremont. There's a really cool story to the building, to Tiny Lou's, to everything about it that you want to care a lot and invest a lot, and you want to, you know, be really passionate about it. And I think that comes across in the service.
Yeah.
So whether you're in the dining room, whether you're in the hotel, that comes across. And I think that's what got us there, is just caring a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it sounds crazy because it sounds like what everybody's going to say.
I know.
But I will say that Atlanta, for what it's worth,
Mm-hmm.
was a city that was really built in the 1970s. And everything is modern and it's very, like, it's purpose served for what was there.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of, and look, I'll extend this to even Pond City Market because it was the old Sears
Yeah.
Market. They did a really good job of keeping the old engines that were made and, like, part of that charm, because I think a lot of that part of the city is forgotten.
Yep.
Right? You have that downtown area. The little pockets aren't really, so I think that part of it, and I think that charm adds to why it got the recommendation, because you're doing half of a museum and half of a restaurant and half of a hotel. That's not an easy feat to accomplish.
Yeah.
But talk about the food a little bit, because you're not going in, all that could be great, but you have a crap meal and there's no way.
No,
So
absolutely.
Talk about the food, talk about, like, the meals that people should get, not by stupid Nick's recommendations, by, like, the actual chef. Like,
Oh my
talk about
gosh.
the wine program.
Yeah.
Because there were some regions of wine you don't usually see on menus. Deep dive a little bit into that good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of those details are just what also makes the experience too. So since we've opened, we've tried to keep our wine list 90% French.
Yep.
That being said, we're very big on give the people what they want. So we're always going to have a California, like, buttery Chardonnay on the menu. We're always going to have an Oregon Pinot Noir.
Someone saw my face when I did that.
We're always going to have those things that, like, if that's what you want and that's what's familiar and that's, like, truly when you eat dinner, you want a California Cab, like, we're going to have it on the menu for you.
So Napa Valley exists because it had the same soil composition as Bordeaux did.
Yeah.
So why in God's name would you order a California Napa Valley wine when you can get a Bordeaux? I'm just saying.
We always like to say we like to educate our guests when we can, and we like to give them that knowledge and say, hey, why don't you try this? If you don't like it, we'll get it off the table. We'll get you a California Cab. But if that's not what you want, that's not what you want, and that's fine.
Wine expert on staff?
We do. So I'm a level.
Constantino?
Yeah, we'll just call you. I'm a level 1 som. Our GM is a level 1 som down in the restaurant. We have a few people on the team that are just really passionate about wine, but we all kind of, it's all collaboration.
Yeah, but you guys are really good because you don't need a level. You don't need the highest level because it's not that kind of place. Like, there's a reason that level 1 is like, okay, this is the cuisine I want. Okay, here you go.
Yep.
Like, I got Don Confit. That does not go with a lot of different kinds of wine, right? You need a little salt on it. You need minerality. It can't be like a big, powerful, because it just gets lost in it.
Yeah.
So you don't need that. You don't need the exact, oh, this soil does this for this. You need to be like, with what you're eating, here's the best wine.
Yeah.
So I think level 1 fits the vibe of the place. I know that sounds a little crazy, but I think it fits the vibe of the place.
Yeah,
very well.
absolutely. And then we kind of keep this in our back pocket at all times, but our staff is actually educated by a level 2 sommelier. Her name's Janine Jason. She runs Vinoteca in Inman Park. And she's our pastry chef's wife, and she educates our team on all the wine things in exchange for free meals. So we get a little bit of
we even got a backdoor barter.
yeah.
This is how you get.
We're like, hey,
Gypsy Flea
tell
Market
us
of
about
Michelin.
wine.
There we
We'll
go.
give you steak, and it's great. So
Yeah.
we do have someone that is so passionate about wine. She's amazing, super talented, coming in and really teaching our staff in a really
I love it.
familiar way. But food-wise, I mean, it's again been an evolution since we opened the hotel in terms of the menu, and it gets better every year.
Yeah. What are some of your go-tos?
What was that?
What are some of your go-tos? What are your favorites on the menu?
Steak frites. I love steak frites. Beef tartare. I feel like that's a classic.
Yeah.
And like with every season, you can do a different set of beef
Because
tartare.
of my gout, I couldn't do the tartare and the duck. I was just a little worried. Otherwise,
Yeah.
the thing was staring at
Yeah.
me. Whenever you put an egg over everything, I'm like,
Yeah.
yep.
Chef just started doing duck fat fries. So we have a separate fryer in the restaurant with just duck fat in it that we're dropping fries in, just like shaving a bunch of truffles on top. That's really
Hey, if you ask
delicious.
Mr. RFK, the vegetable oils are killing you. Duck fat is completely
Duck fat's fine, yeah.
It fits
Honestly,
it fits the
yeah.
pyramid perfectly.
Eat all the beef, baby. And the deviled eggs have truffle in them, and they're
Not my
just
thing. It was good. Not my thing. You
they're
gotta be
very
in the mood.
truffly.
It's-
You
and
got to
it's-
be ready.
The consistency.
I love
you gotta,
deviled eggs.
Oh, yeah.
I know there was.
I should have brought some.
Yeah, there was a. That's a very Jewish thing. Have a deviled egg. That's not so,
So
much for a little
good.
Italian Nick. I was
Yeah,
like, "Ew."
you're like, I'm all set.
My wife was like,
Come on, Nick, you're too
Yeah.
skinny.
Well,
You
no, she
gotta
made
eat
me eat
some.
it. She goes, I can't leave it here. You have to eat it. I'm like, oh my God.
You could have left it.
I know. That's okay.
No wasting.
No wasting.
Yeah.
Yeah, but a burger. Like, let's talk about
Oh,
it.
the
because
burger's
it's so
so
It's so
good.
good. And I
Yeah.
love, I don't think people know this, but I think it was originally, it was Holman and Finch, but that double smash burger, that was in Atlanta built. That
Yeah.
brought this back across the whole country. That smash burger that really started here, buns all the way hammered down almost thin, so they're almost, you don't even see them anymore with the onions, and everyone has their style of it. But it is something that's very Atlanta, and I love it. And it's a good burger. Good traditional fries. It is a good burger. So there's something for everybody.
Yeah, with the burger, we really have never tried to get too weird with it. I feel like sometimes when you go somewhere and there's like all this crazy stuff on your burger, you're like, all right, I don't want this.
Yeah,
like I ordered a burger because I know what I want, and like I don't want all this
We
on
don't
it.
need burst and cheese. Like American cheese is perfect.
Like put
for
a
it.
slice
It
of
exists.
cheddar on the burger. So or like bacon is the best, the craziest we'll get.
Yeah.
So yeah, great burger. And it's great to just go sit in the bar and order. And we have a completely separate menu in Bar Caravan in the lobby that we really try and get like global influences from on the menu, and chef can really play around up there, where when you're cooking only French food, you can really kind of be stuck in a box sometimes.
Yeah.
And he really gets to play around with like different Indian flavors and things like that up in the bar.
Well, again, it's a global world. So,
Yep.
well, it's wonderful to hear. Congratulations on the Michelin recommendation.
you.
Jaron, you have to go check it out.
Yeah.
Being
I'm
that
going.
this was a learning experience for you,
That's
why
right.
don't you close us out there, bud?
Listen, I'm excited actually, and I don't get excited about much, especially
Nice.
coming down to this area of town. But I'm a Buckhead boy at heart. But I am as soon as the wife is ready and up for it, we're gonna have a little staycation, and
Nice.
I will on our next pod report back.
There it is.
On how
Look at
it
this
was.
double report back recommendations. We're crossing new territory as we go.
I love it.
Well, thank you, Grace.
Of course.
Congrats again.
Thanks for having me.
Congrats to Hotel Claremont and Tiny Lou's. You've been listening to Legacy of Luxury, and we'll catch you next time.